finally. Last time I had to travel very far to see you in Germany. You've never been here before.
Oh, yeah. First time, yeah. Definitely excited to be here.
Yeah, okay. So, how's the European tour going so far, and especially the Rock Festival yesterday?
Good. We've only been out for a little over like a week and a half now, but we did a bunch of shows in the UK, and that was always good. And then we did Rock last night, which was fun because the stage we played on was a bunch of our friends from American bands.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see them and hang out and just have a good show. The show's really well too. A lot of people.
Did you watch any other bands?
I watched Every Time I Die, Circus Survive, Thursday, Furthest Things Forever, and some of August Burns Red. Yeah, it was good. It was fun.
I think they lost their ear, or August Burns Red.
They somehow they missed their flight and all their luggage went on.
Okay.
I was talking to the singer and he was been wearing the same like underwear and everything for like 3 days straight. Yeah, it was pretty gross.
Okay. Chris wasn't able to join you on this tour as his wife gave birth to the second child.
Yeah.
So were you trying to find a replacement for him at first?
No, I think like we use a computer to run our clip track and it's a program called Ableton. So he writes intros for our sets, and so we have that in there already, samples. So it just kind of made sense, especially with international travel being so expensive, just to put his samples on the computer and use that.
And you never thought about a replacement for him for this tour?
No, it's just we have his stuff. His stuff is there. You can hear it. It's just you don't see anyone. It's magical.
He goes so crazy on stage.
He does. It was weird the first couple shows without him being over there. It felt unbalanced.
During your last European tour, Aaron decided to leave the band. Yeah, and how did you manage to deal with that, especially as you were so far away from home? And
yeah, I think we were in Prague when it happened. It was obviously a shock, kind of. But after you thought about it for a while, it's kind of a long time coming. So I think in the end, by the time we got home, because we still had another week after he told us, we were just kind of all on the same page of all right, let's keep it, excited to move on. And we ended up calling Daniel, and he came down a week later, and we were already writing new stuff. So it happened really quick. Yeah, we had a bunch of things lined up, like the studio and tours already. So there wasn't really any time to just kind of figure it out. We just did it.
Have you ever thought about finding someone after Aaron's departure who could completely replace him, as well as
like
a singer and drummer? Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think that kind of just was there because obviously he was a great singer and it worked out well. He was a great drummer. He gave a cool element. But I think that, obviously with a new record, like Spencer does all the singing and stuff. And I think as a band, personally, it's funny because we haven't been like that for so long. That having just one man, like a front man, do everything kind of makes it feel more fluid. It makes it feel a little less like, this and that. You know what I mean? It kind of is like one concise piece.
Yeah.
So I think I prefer that, honestly. It was great that it worked out the way it did with Aaron, but the way it is now, I think, is a little more what we'd like it to be anyways.
Cool. And how did you get involved with Daniel Davison?
We've known him for years. Like back when he was in Ludacris and Norman Jean, same label.
Okay.
We've toured with him before, and just always been a really great guy. And actually, we didn't think of him at first when we were thinking of drummers, but when he came up, it kind of just made sense. And we weren't sure if he was even playing music. I think he was playing a band called Color Revolt, a small band from the States. A very small band from the States, but really good band. But he was just doing that, managing bands, and kind of just was down to try it out. So it just worked out really well. It was weird, but good.
Yeah. I heard that Spencer's brother is also doing drums.
He plays drums in the band,
And they used to be in bands together.
Yeah, he was in a band called This Runs Through way before Underoath with his brother and some other friends. That's how we moved down from North Carolina to Florida. That's how we ended up meeting him. But his brother plays in a band.
To Speak of Wolves.
To Speak of Wolves, yeah. plays drums in that band.
So he didn't want it to...
We talked about it, but he was already in a band, and he was doing his thing.
Okay, and did you change any parts of your older songs for your current live set?
Yeah, Tim and Spencer kind of do the vocal duties now, because obviously Aaron's not there to sing them. So there's obviously that element, but it's worked out well. I mean, we do it in the songs we can do it. You know, we're not trying to do songs that obviously are going to be a lot harder than others. Yeah, it's worked out good.
Shortly after Aaron's departure, you entered the studio to record your new record, Disambiguation. Is it called only Disambiguation, or is it the sign?
It's both. It's either or. It's the symbol, and the symbol definition of the symbol is disambiguation. So it's kind of both.
Oh, okay.
You can call it whatever you want.
Yeah. So how did the production and recording process differ from your previous recordings?
I think it was just it was a fresh start with Spencer taking over all the vocals and Daniel being in the band. We went with an old friend who's been working on past records, Matt Goldman, just by himself, and it was just a really good vibe. Everyone was kind of in the mindset of coming together and just being open with any direction, like writing, and just if something went this way, just going with it. I think before there was a little bit of tension that way, as far as when the writing and recording process came about, but it was cool. It was long. It was very taxing on our morale, because it was such everyone wanted to be so perfect, because there's a lot riding on this record. It's the first record without Aaron and just new members and stuff. So, but in the end, I think it came out great, and it was a long but good process.
I know you decided to work with Matt Goldman again, and I recently did an interview with Josh of The Chariot, and he told me he can never imagine to work with anyone else than him. So what do you think is so special about him?
He's a great guy. I think that he's great because it's very comfortable. And I think that's a really important thing in the studio, especially being comfortable. And he'll go off on tangents in a way where, like, if you're trying a part or something and you want to try this pedal or this noise, like, he'll just almost go off on a day and just spin on that, and just he's not afraid to kind of go with the creative process and just push it to its boundaries, So it's cool.
Yeah. And why did you choose Disambiguation for the album title, or as the album title?
We originally wanted to go with just a symbol, no Disambiguation. Okay. But our label and press was like, well, you need to have a name for it so people can refer to it as something. So that was one of the definitions, and it means be ambiguous. And I think it just worked out well when we're talking about, because this is the first record with no original members anymore, and the band's been going for so long and so many member changes have happened over the years that it's kind of like, it's not about, we're trying to make it more, it's not about the members, it's not about the people, it's Underoath is its own thing, and whoever's in the band at whatever point is going to put everything they can to make it the best possible thing. So that's kind of where the definition and where the meaning all came from.
So you could have also self-titled it?
Yeah, potentially, I guess so,
Were you thinking about it, or?
No, that never came, actually that might have came up, actually, I think, but we were just really into the symbol idea. I think originally that was like the coolest thing. I don't know if you ever heard of Sigur Rós. They have the parentheses record. It's just like a symbol like this. And we always thought it was the coolest thing, because the actual title of the record is just that symbol. But you obviously say parentheses, that's what it looks like. But yeah, I think that's just a really cool, it's just like such a hard but cool thing to do. Like, that's it, that's the record.
How was the reaction of your fans, or your older fans, to the new material?
For the most part, positive. I mean, I think that obviously we've always been a progressive band. Every record changes and sounds different, but this was obviously a big jump, vocally and drum-wise. But I think that for the most part, it's been really positive, and I think the few negative comments are the same people that have been saying things since Chasing Skates came out, wanting us to do that, which is not going to happen. So to us, it's been good. It's been great.
I heard you don't really like to play songs.
It's kind of like anything else with an artist. Like it's like taking like a painter that's been working for years and like taking his first paintings and being like, oh, this is your great stuff. Just show this only.
Yeah.
Not that not when you developed your skill and stuff. And I appreciate like what that record's done for us and where it's put us and what opportunities it's given to us. But I think for us on a songwriting level and as musicians, it's just so basic to us that it kind of comes across that way, and that's why we don't really enjoy playing it as much, I think.
Okay. So the lyrics on the new record, especially on A Divine Eradication, are quite dark again. Although Spencer overcame his drug addiction, and So what are they dealing with on the new album?
I mean, I think they're dealing with a lot of things. I think as far as like especially with the drug addiction goes, you can overcome it, but it's always still lingering to some level there in the back of your head. And like,
of course,
obviously I think with just our personal lives and just finding out who we are and dealing with struggles, just normal struggles that everyone goes through, but kind of taking it and writing it in like a song format of like a view of like a Christian view or non-Christian view or whatever, just like how to deal with situations and stuff. And I think a lot of it is just about like inner turmoil, like dealing with those kind of things. So there's a lot of water references in the record too, about like drowning and stuff like that. So
is the song title Illuminator a reference to the Illuminati?
No,
not
at all. It's so funny because we just keep getting kids asking us about that, and I guess it makes sense why they would ask that, but it's to us it's so ridiculous. It's like I understand, but it has nothing to do with that. Like, we don't support that anyway. It's just a random occurrence. And it's funny because we have a video that comes out in 2 days, paper long.
Yeah.
And the director, we didn't talk about it at all. The director made the video. There's a part of the video that's a bunch of signs and stuff. And there's the eye in there. Like, we didn't say anything about it. He just put it in because he thought it was a cool symbol. So I'm sure it's going to be even more now. Just like, oh, are you, it's like, no, we're not.
Okay, and you already filmed 2 videos for Indivision and Paperline.
Yeah.
And I heard that you are planning to do videos for all of the other songs on your own.
We would like to.
I read it.
That was the initial idea. I mean, depending on time and stuff, because I think that we might end up recording earlier than we thought and write a new record. But Tim and Daniel have done a lot of film stuff, and they've had ideas. I know there's a couple ideas for like Illuminator and a couple other songs in Driftwood to make videos. So hopefully, if we have time, we'll get around to do it. Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Cool. So what did change since Roadrunner distributes your records outside of the US and Canada?
We get to do interviews for once. We get press, which is awesome. No, they've been really cool. We just met them for the first time coming over here now.
Yeah.
And it's just really nice. I mean, nothing against Tooth and Nail and EMI. Like, they do a great job in the States and Canada with us and records, but overseas has always been kind of like dull and not very much attention put over there. And obviously we are not as big over here as we are over there.
Yeah.
So I think that with them it's kind of been a wash, and with Roadrunner I think they see potential and they pick a band up, they work a band and do the things we can do. So yeah, it's been awesome. We've done the most press this tour since of any record we've done,
It must be a big disadvantage that Solid State or Tooth and Nail is not releasing internationally.
Honestly, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think with Roadrunner doing it, it's
that's a good thing. But
they push it more without...
For other bands?
Oh, for other bands?
Yeah. Who have not this possibility?
Yeah, it's rough, it's hard, you gotta,
difficult to get a tour over here.
Yeah, we've come over here for like 6 or 7 years now, and it's been some rough tours and some good tours, and with that, I think, press does a huge advantage, so.
Okay, your label mate saves the day. just had to call it quits or called it quits, and they named as one of the reasons the decreasing crowds or the decreasing people who go to their concerts.
Okay,
And do you feel this is a general problem for bands nowadays?
I think for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, without the exception of few, I think just the music scene as a whole, like, it's, you know, especially in the States for sure, because it's a recession, money's a lot tighter. You know, I look at a stat I saw like a month or so ago that was like the average person would go to like 4 to 5 shows a year is now going to like 1 show a year. So it just makes things a lot tighter, and there's a lot more shows. And honestly, with the internet, there's way more bands.
Yeah.
So it's just this over-congested thing,
Yeah.
and everyone's trying to get a piece of the pie, you know, and trying to get people to come out to their shows, and you got to stand out. It's tough for sure. And I know a lot of bands that they're great bands, you know, nothing to do with musically. They just have had a hard time like pulling in crowds.
Yeah, that's a shame. People should buy more CDs.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to change, but...
So for quite a while now. How do you judge the development of the music industry for the past 10 years, personally?
I think it's kind of new. I mean, I think musically, there's still great music being made out there. And business-wise, industry, record labels, I think it's kind of nosediving. I would be surprised to see not half the record labels go under the next 5 years, just because they can't compete because a record label makes money off records and people aren't buying records.
That's right. Yeah.
You're not making money, you know. And there's a lot of labels doing things called like 360 deals now, where basically they get a portion of everything.
Yeah, merchandise.
Everything, and the bands, you know.
Also concert sales, ticket sales.
I don't know about ticket sales, but merchandise and stuff like that. I think each deal's different, but there's probably some like that. I think that everyone's trying to figure out a way to like keep it going, but the downloading of songs is just, you know, it's like, it's great to be able to get that and have that access, but in the end, it's kind of slowly just killing the industry.
Yeah.
So until something changes, it's just going to get harder and harder, I think, for bands.
I also work in a record company, and we started to sell books now next to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
just random, like books of.
Yeah, we bought a company who sell books everywhere, and we distribute the books for them. So it's going slowly, but it's okay. Yeah. What music or bands are you currently listening to?
Currently listening to the new Big Boy record from Outkast. I just bought the new Atmosphere record. Just bought the newest Frightened Rabbit record. It's good. I think they're an English band.
Yeah.
So mostly rap, honestly. Listen to a lot of rap lately. Yeah, it's like I said, like it's so much harder to find like good new music. I feel like a lot of times I find myself going back to stuff I listened to like 10 years ago lately. So.
I read that you are planning to tour Japan in May.
We were.
You were,
but not tomorrow.
Oh, it's cancelled.
Yeah, we were going to do 2 festivals with I think Story of the Year Thursday, and it was really quick. But obviously with the tsunamis and the earthquakes and stuff. And nuclear power plants, it ended up getting canceled.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if you're afraid to go there because of this.
No, we were planning on going until they canceled it. I mean, some of us were definitely more weary than others, but
I would be afraid to go there now, I think.
I was down. Yeah.
Recently? You've been there?
No, I haven't. I have a friend that's over there right now.
Okay.
He's just living over there, but he says that, you know, certain areas are obviously bad, but there's safe areas, so yeah. So
tomorrow is Resurrection Day, and as you're a Christian, then what does this day mean to you?
Being in Munich, away from home. I mean, I think usually, you know, people go to church with their families and stuff.
You also would do that if you were?
I don't know if I haven't done that in a long time, honestly. Yeah, I live by myself, so I don't really hang out with my family much.
Okay.
But maybe I would. I think for tomorrow, and just be a day off. So we're going to be in Munich, have the day off. So I guess relaxing is kind of part of it. So we'll be relaxing and taking it easy. I'm actually wanting to go to, I don't know if this is right or wrong, but there's a really cool beer garden over there that I want to go to. And James, our guitar player, we talked about. So I'll have a nice drink and relax.
Do you know about this tradition with the Easter eggs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you also have it in the US?
We do, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind
I've got a little Easter egg for you.
Oh,
I hope
you?
it didn't melt on the way, but
thank
it's
you.
a little surprise.
Okay, I've seen it before, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay. So, what's next for Underoath?
Just more touring. We're playing in Germany and a couple shows in Italy, and we fly home for a couple days and then fly to Australia. We're doing a tour with Get Remember over there. Come home for like a month, then we're doing this US tour, and then we're doing more states, Canada, maybe South America. Everything's going to open up for that, but it's a lot of touring for the next 6 months.
Yeah. So thank you very much for your time.
No, thank you.
It was nice to meet you.
You too, definitely.